today we're sitting here together with Chris Cavanagh from G&W, Genesee and Wyoming. And we're sitting here with Kelsey Lyons from Tideworks. Both of you have come from far to be present at the TUC event. Can you explain a little bit where you came from and what you did this week?
Yeah, so I came from the UK, based in Southampton, which is one of our terminals are based. I came across to TOC on Monday and spent some time there looking at some of the booths there. And then myself and Kelsey did a presentation about it was a case study of the project that we've been doing for the last 2.5 years. And we just explained to the conference what we'd done, how we got there, the challenges that we had, and where we want to go in the future.
Right.
And I believe it went down very well.
Yep. Was it the right audience for this presentation?
I think so, yeah. So the segment was basically about automation and terminal operating systems. So there were a couple, similar people that were doing presentations as well, but it all kind of fit with the same theme of automation, optimization, next stage development, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. All right. So this is all about your cooperation. You said 2.5 years. You're doing some major changes to your terminals in the UK. Can you explain what these changes are?
Yeah. So we're in a period of modernisation, and we're using technology to bring that to reality, and using automation as well. As Kelsey said, that was the part that we were discussing at the TOC yesterday. So to do that, we brought in what we believe to be the best-in-class terminal operating system from Tideworks. We also brought in a vehicle booking system from Advent, and we also brought in Camco's automation at the gates. And using those three things together, we hope, and we have already seen, that it's going to bring great benefits to our terminal efficiency, and also to our trucking community who use our terminals all day, every day, and the knock-on effect to the customer, because ultimately it's the customer that brings the truckers into our terminal.
Yeah. And which terminals are we talking about?
So we are bringing the technology in at 10 sites. So far we've gone live at 6 sites. So we've gone live at Cardiff, was our first site, and since then we've gone live at Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, and Doncaster and Leeds.
Okay, and which one was the latest?
So we went live at Manchester on Monday.
Oh, this
week. Yeah, and it was a challenging day on Monday, but in a short period of time we've managed to turn that around, and we're already seeing benefits from putting the system in at Manchester. So fast. Within 2 days. Yeah. People are already seeing benefits.
And what kind of benefits do they see?
So the truckers that come into our terminal, typically they can spend up to an hour to 90 minutes just waiting to get the container on and off. And already we're seeing turnaround times averaging less than 30 minutes.
Okay, already. That's very impressive.
Yeah. From Tuesday onwards, we were seeing turnaround times of 30 minutes.
Yeah. Tideworks is providing this solution. It's called Intermodal Pro, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so Intermodal Pro or iPro, that is our move planning system. So you can, in the office, go and plan the different moves. So you want, to housekeep moves, or an appointment is coming up for this container, so let's make sure that it's ready and available. And then, so they come through at the gate level, and you've got Camco's GMS. It has the OCR read, it reads the license plate, it, compares it to the registration event in the vehicle booking system, so the driver will turn up with an appointment. You can come from this time to this time. They'll come through the gate, and then once you're in the terminal, iPro pretty much does the rest. We also have traffic control, which is the move execution solution. So all of the terminal activity once you're in there is Tideworks.
Yeah, and how does the customer respond then? I mean, customer in terms of the truckers coming in, how do they respond to this novelty?
I think it's been fairly well received. It's definitely streamlined. I think Chris mentioned they can spend approximately 90 minutes. We're down to under 30 or so. So I think from an efficiency standpoint, it's done wonders so far. You guys had some positive feedback from the trucking community specifically about 2 weeks after the first go live. They were like, "This is great."
Yeah. So we have beforehand, when they hear that you're putting in this kind of solution, they're very sceptical towards it. So we bring them on board and demonstrate the benefits that it can bring them. But it wasn't until we went live and they could actually see it for themselves that they think, actually,
But what are they skeptical about?
They're sceptical about having to book an appointment, having to do extra work to come to your terminal. Normally, they just come to your terminal whenever they want, and to just pick up their containers. We don't know when they're coming, what they're coming for. They just turn up, and then because they just turn up, we're not prepared for them. So because they have to make that appointment in advance, then we know what they want and when they want it. Therefore, we can prepare for that, and we can resource for that, generally and specifically. So now when they come to the terminal, instead of waiting, maybe spending some time outside in a line, and then inside the terminal in a line, they're coming up, because they've got a booked appointment, they come straight into the terminal, their container's ready for them. They pick their container up or drop off if they're doing a drop off as well, and they can get out the terminal quick. So instead of spending their trucks spending maybe 90 minutes at our terminal, they're spending less than 30 minutes at our terminal. And when you add that up over the course of a day, a number of trucks over a year, that time that they're saving, they can then see the benefit of doing that, and they might be able to get an extra job out of that, which means their trucks are earning money, not sat in a line at G&W's terminal. So that's the benefit to them, and the benefit to us is we've got visibility of what's happening on our terminal, and we can resource effectively.
Yeah, because why do you need that visibility?
Because it allows us to plan better, allows us to use our lifting equipment and our people better, which means we can then in the future, and we've already seen this at one of our terminal, bring in extra trains to our terminal. If we get more trains and still use the same lifting equipment to do that, then we can grow our business. We were standing still in what we were doing previously, but now we can use this to plan better, make the most of our resources, and grow. So there's benefits to the trucking community because they're in and out our terminals quicker, but there's benefits to us because we can use this to grow our business.
Yeah, and because we're RailFreight.com, so we also have to address the train community a little bit, but I guess it's much of a bigger logistics benefit, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. So Chris mentioned we've so far gotten one additional train at Birmingham. We're going to go for 2, maybe more potentially, but just to put some figures around that, it went from processing about 300 containers per day to well over 500 per day with that one extra train. So, I mean, add more and it just extrapolates.
Yeah. So is this something that can be applied to any terminal, or was this just a perfect match? What do you think?
I think from starting off, yes, it really can be something that we can, grow and nurture with any terminal. With G&W specifically, we had past working relationships and kind of knew the lay of the land in terms of how the terminals were operating. We're able to account for that within the solution itself. But yeah, we're pretty flexible. We can make adjustments as needed for sure.
Yeah, and could you have done this with any TOS provider?
I think it's possible. Other TOS providers are doing it, but as Kelsey said, we've got a long-standing relationship with Tideworks. Yeah. So the benefit of using Tideworks is they knew us, they knew about our business, about our rail business, and what we needed, and it was going to be challenging enough taking on this extra automation that we wanted to do. And because we had a good relationship and we trusted each other, we didn't want to rebuild all the good things that we were doing on the rail side of the business, so we could concentrate on the new stuff. And that was really important. And also Tideworks had worked with the other companies that were helping us do the automation. And
Camco.
Camco and Advent. Yeah. And that was quite powerful. It was quite a powerful package to have all 3 businesses having worked together before. We had a good relationship with Tideworks. So to bring all that together made it easier. It made it something that was going to be challenging a lot easier. We could have went to another TOS provider, but I think that it would have made it a longer process. So using Tideworks, as the main TOS provider was important in our decision making.
I can imagine that when people are watching this interview and they have not chosen yet a TOS provider, that they're a little bit jealous of this good relationship that you have already, because there's so many people out there, there's so many companies out there trying to present their solutions. How you once started finding the right match, I guess. How would you recommend other companies to look for the right partner?
I think they have to maybe look at the market and see what it is they want to do, and then match it up to what other people are doing. So, for example, we'd be more than happy, as J&W Freightliner, to have people who are looking at this similar solution to come and see if it fits for them.
Yeah.
And we can demonstrate how good the interaction is, how good the people are behind it, because it's not just about the software. There's lots of committed and good people at Tideworks and Camco and Advent who are committed to making that work. But, find the right fit, go and look at the market, go and look at other competitors. But I think the best advice I could give is go and see it in operation. See if you can see similarities to your rail business. You think you could get the best out of it.
Yeah. And do you mean like visiting the terminal and seeing it?
Absolutely. Come to the terminal, see the software, see the hardware working, speak to the people who are using it, speak to the trucking community, speak to the staff on the terminal, and get their testimonials. It's great talking to the software and hardware providers, but speak to the people who are using it, and then compare it to your own business to see how that could fit and work for you.
Yeah. And as Tideworks, do you see a lot of companies asking for more solutions, or is there like a revolution going on right now?
Definitely, yes. So we do offer vessel operation products as well, but on the rail side, we've seen a major uptick in people wanting to have a centralized solution. And Chris mentioned, we integrate with Advent and Camco on multi-levels. But yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah. But is there like a change going on, do you think, or is it too soon?
I think the future is automation and optimization, definitely. Our product roadmap focuses on making things easier for the end user and automating things. So rather than having to have a person sitting there manually doing something, having the system make intelligent decisions for the person who's ultimately clicking the button, right? Yeah. It takes the guesswork out of it. It takes the thought out of it. You don't have to think about it. The system does it for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. And how big is this for G&W?
It's enormous. I know that's just a word, but it's transformed our business. It's transformed the experience of the businesses that use us as well, and our customers. So we're putting everything into this, and we're not just going to stop with what we've done already. We're very proud of what we've done already, putting in the gate automation and the vehicle booking system and the new terminal operating system. It's been massive, but this is only the first step in the journey. So we're looking to move on and keep evolving and keep changing. And the key thing for us is terminal optimization next. So we've got gate automation, and the next goal for us is terminal optimization. Yeah. To make sure we're squeezing everything we can out of the resources that we've got, and we're very excited to be working with Tideworks to do that.
Yeah, and there are 4 terminals remaining still?
That's correct, yeah.
Which ones are those? So
those are our Pentalver site. So J&W, they bought the Freightliner network, and they also brought Pentalver, who are a storage container storage terminal, and those are the 4 sites that are remaining to get on onto the software. So that's at Southampton, Felixstowe, London Gateway, and Cavanagh, which is in the Midlands, close to Birmingham.
Yeah. Those are big ones.
They will be,
yeah.
They will be.
It's going to be a major breakthrough.
Yes.
Do you have other plans? Because this is basically your first step of automation in this side of the Atlantic.
Yeah, so we're looking to, the next challenge is to do some terminal optimization. So we're looking at automated housekeeping, and that essentially is, okay, we're getting quick turnaround times just now of 30 minutes, but what we want to do is we want to use that information we've got in the system and automate the moves so we can make the containers available. So we can say, yes, someone is coming in 2 hours to collect that container, but it's in the middle of a stack, and then we generate a move in the traffic control system that will alert the crane operator to make that container available and close to the top of the stack. So when the truck comes into the terminal, it's at the top of the stack, straight onto the truck and out. So that's one of the first things we want to do. But then one of the other things we're looking at doing is to do some automated train planning. So currently we might look at a train that might have 50 or 60 containers to go on it and just plan one container at a time. We want to take that out of it and look at the terminal as a whole, where the containers are on the terminal, where the rail wagons are on the terminal, and essentially have one click of a mouse to say, plan that automatically to the best place on that train, considering where the containers are and all the safety rules around that, and then it will just generate the moves on the system. So that's one of the other things we're looking at as well.
And that's something you can provide.
It is, yeah, and it'll do it logically. So it'll say, okay, I'm over here, and this is where I'm moving this container. So based off of this location, the next most efficient move is this one here, and I'll bring it there. Yeah. So it reduces, double handling of the containers. It just makes the logical decision of, based off of where I am, here's where it makes sense to go next, and plan that train logically that way. But before, that was something that the operator had to make the decision about, right? He had to use his judgment and say, oh, I'm here, that needs to go there, let me go over there. Now the system just does it automatically.
Yeah. And for you, this is also a major breakthrough on this side of the Atlantic, I guess, because it was in the US, everything is already up and running. They're far further than we are here, I guess.
Yes, so we deal with a lot of the Class 1 railroads that are pretty well established in the United States and North America specifically. G&W's been our favorite customer over here so far. Yeah. Definitely looking to expand and continue to grow operations and help others as well.
Yeah. And then it's good that you've been here at the TOC event, I guess, and that you've been here in Rotterdam with us to have this interview with RailFreight. I thank you very much for that, and I wish you a pleasant journey back.
Thank you very
so
much.
All right.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.